July 1944. World War II was not yet over. 44 nations sent delegates to Bretton Woods, New Hampshire. They were designing the post-war global financial order. One country held 80% of the world's gold reserves. One country's delegate wrote the rules. That country was the United States. The Bretton Woods Agreement created two institutions, the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. But the more consequential decision was the exchange rate system. Every currency would be pegged to the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar would be convertible to gold at $35 per ounce. The dollar became the world's reserve currency. Not by market forces, by agreement, signed by 44 nations in a hotel in New Hampshire while the war was still ongoing. Here's the paradox that economists call the Triffin Dilemma, named for economist Robert Triffin, who identified it in 1960. For the dollar to function as the world's reserve currency, the U.S. must run persistent trade deficits. Other nations need dollars to conduct international trade. The only way they get dollars is if the U.S. sends them out. The only way the U.S. sends dollars out is by importing more than it exports. But running persistent deficits erodes confidence in the dollar, which undermines its reserve currency status. The system contained its own contradiction from the moment it was designed. Nixon ended Bretton Woods in 1971, not because he chose to, because the contradiction had become unsustainable. The U.S. trade deficit in 2025, $1.2 trillion, the largest in recorded history. The dollar's share of global reserves, 58%, down from 71% in 2000. Gold is at $5,019, up from $35 in 1944. The Triffin Dilemma has not been resolved, it has been deferred. If the Bretton Woods system contained its own contradiction from birth and lasted 27 years before collapsing, how long can a system survive when the contradiction is known and unresolved?